Do you live in one state but work in another? If so, you might be overpaying your taxes without even realizing it. This is a super common situation for people living in what are called border states. Welcome back to Crushing on Candy. Let's break down what this means for you and your money. First off, what are border states? It's exactly what it sounds like, states that share a border. Think about places like the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area, or New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Lots of people commute across state lines every day for work. This can create a tricky tax situation. Normally, you have to pay income tax in the state where you earn your money, but this is where something called a reciprocal agreement comes in, and it's a game changer. A reciprocal agreement is basically a deal between the states that says, hey, if your residents work here, we won't tax them, and if our residents work in your state, you won't tax them either. This prevents you from being double taxed on the same income. Instead, you only have to pay income tax to the state where you live, not where you work. But here's the most important part. This isn't automatic. Your employer in the work state might still withhold taxes from your paycheck as if you live there. It's your responsibility to get that money back. You have to file a special non-resident tax return with the state you work in to request a full refund of all the taxes they withheld. Let's look at some examples. If you live in Maryland but work in Virginia, you'd file a Virginia Form 763S to claim your refund. The S stands for special for non-residents. If you live in New Jersey and work in Pennsylvania, you should file Form or EV for 190X to stop your employer from withholding. However, if your employer withheld Pennsylvania state income tax from your wages, you'll need to file APA 40 with Schedule SP. Live in Wisconsin but work in Illinois, you'll file the Illinois Schedule NR. And for my Indiana residents working in Kentucky, you'll use Kentucky's Form 740MP. Each state has its own specific form, so it's crucial to find the right one. Here's a quick list of some reciprocal states and the forms you might need. If you work in Maryland but live in a reciprocal state, you'll file Form 505. For Michigan, it's Form MI10 for ONR. For Ohio, it's the IT 1040. For Pennsylvania, it's that PA 40 with Schedule SPI mentioned. And for Virginia, it's the 763S. Remember, you're filing these forms to tell the state, hey, you took my money, but because of our reciprocal agreement, I don't owe you anything. Please give it back. Now, just because you get a refund from your work state doesn't mean you ray off the hook for taxes. You are still fully responsible for paying income tax in your home state. Since you won't have taxes withheld for your home state from your paycheck, you'll likely owe a big chunk of change when you file your resident tax return. To avoid a huge bill and potential penalties, you should look into making estimated tax payments to your home state throughout the year. This usually means paying quarterly, so you stay on top of what you owe. Let's circle back to that Virginia Form 763S for a second, just to make it crystal clear. You would file this form if you are a resident of a state that has a reciprocal agreement with Virginia like Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, or DC, and you earn income in Virginia. This form is your ticket to getting back any Virginia income tax that was mistakenly withheld from your pay. You're telling Virginia, I'm a resident of Maryland. We have an agreement, so I don't owe you tax. So, the key takeaway is this. If you live in one state and work in another, first check if they have a reciprocal agreement. If they do, make sure you're filing the correct non-resident return to get your withheld money back. And don't forget to pay your taxes to your home state, possibly through estimated payments. It might seem like a bit of extra paperwork, but it ensures you're not paying a dime more in taxes than you need to. I hope this helps you navigate the world of state taxes a little better, and maybe even save some serious cash. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tax tips. Thanks for watching.